everybody, it's me, the real KBC. I know I've been gone for a while, but um, it's not it's not really because of anything serious. It really just because right I just kind of lost the motivation to do videos for a short period of time. Um, but other than that, nothing like huge, right? Um, at first, it started with my internet acting up, but whatever. Um, now, a while ago, I actually explained that in a community post, but um, honestly, I don't want to go too in depth into it because yeah, I waited way too long to make a video. But anyway, I'm back now, so yeah. And today I'm actually going to be talking about if too many movies nowadays use too much CGI. Um, Alright, so when I talk about CGI, I mean computer generated graphics, and everybody knows what CGI is nowadays. Um, and people have complained endlessly about too many movies using too much CGI and so on and so forth. Um, but do people have justifiable complaints for CGI, or are people exaggerating? Now, for the most part, I would definitely say that a lot of people actually are justified in their complaints with CGI. Some people do take it a bit too far. Some people um, do make it seem worse than it is, but for the most part, yeah. There actually is way too much CGI in movies, and it's one of the reasons for why movies nowadays cost so much. If you've ever wondered why movies nowadays are so expensive, well, then part of that is because of the CGI, and because CGI gets more expensive the more you use it. At least from what I've noticed, the more CGI there is in a movie, the more expensive it is. Um, Now, I don't really know too much about movies, so that's just me making an educated guess. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I look at movies, I watch them, sure, but the thing is that I don't watch movies all the time. I'm not like an avid movie watcher, but um, like I said, it's just an educated guess that I've gotten from watching certain movies and also watching other people talk about movies and movie reviews and so on and so forth. But yeah, I would say that for the most part, people are justified when it comes to their complaints with CGI. Uh, Too many movies nowadays rely way too much on CGI, and of course, like 10 or 20 years ago, people used practical effects and so on, and nowadays they use stuff like blue screens and green screens and so on. Um, like 20 years ago, people used like puppets, right, and costumes, and obviously people still do use costumes, but they more or less use mocap costumes now, and sometimes they will use like regular costumes or puppets. It depends on the movie, and it also depends on the budget. Like there's a lot of indie movies that will obviously use puppets and right and practical effects because well they have the budget for that. Right, and by that I mean all they can really use is puppets and practical effects. They don't have the budget for CGI and so on. So that's why they're able to get away with that. But anyway, so yeah, back in the day, and obviously they still do this now. I'm just setting the stage, right? But again, decades ago, people they used to build practical effects like practical stages and so on and so forth. They used to create practical effects, and they used to use them a lot. Um, of course, CGI makes everything easier, and I'm not saying CGI is bad, mind you. Um, I want to point out that CGI is not bad. There are good ways to use it, but more often times than not, people tend to like they go overboard with CGI sometimes. There are very few people that truly know how to use CGI in the best way possible, right? Like there's very few people that know how to optimize CGI, right? For the most part, most people just I would say they go a bit overboard with CGI, just a little, not entirely, of course, but yeah. Um, Again, like I said, part of the reason for our movies nowadays are so expensive is because of CGI. Obviously, not the only reason, but yeah, also mocap and green screens, blue screens. Um, that's also another reason why movies nowadays are so expensive. But yeah, keep in mind, I'm not saying that CGI is bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't use CGI. I'm just saying there's good and bad ways to use it, and tons of people just aren't fully aware of how to use CGI. They're not fully aware of how to optimize it. Um, Maybe because they didn't educate themselves properly. And hey, I'm not saying these people are stupid or anything. I'm not trying to diss these people, right? I'm not trying to bash them or say that they don't know what they're doing. Hell, it's like, look, these people, for the most part, they know what they're doing. It's just that um, most of them don't entirely understand how CGI works, either because it's still so recent or because CGI itself is fairly complicated and they don't want to have to learn all the steps. They only want to learn the basics and maybe some extra stuff, and then that's it, right? Um, but keep in mind, I'm not saying CGI is bad, right? It just depends on how you use it, and a lot of people nowadays have complained about CGI in just in general, which I don't agree with. There have actually been some movies that have used CGI well, and some TV shows that have used CGI well, and people complain about that too. And I don't understand why, because well, those people actually understand how to use CGI. They've used it to great effect, in my opinion. Anyway, if you think differently, that is fine, perfectly fine, right? Uh, yeah. Um, Keep this in mind, of course, but you know, just because something has CGI in it, that doesn't automatically mean it's bad. In my opinion, way too many people have made CGI to be like the boogeyman, right? They make it seem like, oh, it's the worst thing ever, and you should never use it. That's such a narrow-minded mindset, right? It's such a narrow-minded, like, just such a one-track way of thinking, in my opinion. If you don't want to use CGI, then that's fine. But you shouldn't bash other people who actually want to use CGI and actually want to learn how it works, and so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, do too many movies nowadays use CGI? I want to say yes. I will at least agree with that. I will at least agree with that because that's not wrong. That's not a wrong thing to say. But I wouldn't say every movie is bad because of that CGI in it. I would just say some people do CGI better than others. So yeah. Some people tend to exaggerate it though, but whatever. And sometimes the CGI doesn't look too good. Sometimes it looks decent, and then you have the very rare people that do know how to use CGI, right? But because there's so few of them, the people that do end up using CGI and are most oftentimes the people that don't understand it. And so when the people that actually do use CGI use it in the best way possible, they usually often get bashed on. They will get praise, of course. Sure, they will still get praise for their talent and their hard work and their effort and all that. But people will be like, well, I didn't like the CGI. Why did you use the CGI, right? I didn't like that. But that's one of the things that annoys me, in my opinion. You can't get creative if you don't get out of your comfort zone, and that's what you gotta do. That's, in my opinion, why CGI should be used. You should use it to get out of your comfort zone. Don't go overboard with it, right? But learn how to use it. Educate yourself on how to use CGI. Optimize it well, and please don't use it to the point where everything just becomes super expensive. Use it sparingly every now and then if you can. Um, if you want to, of course. You really don't have to, but please just learn how to use CGI if you want to. Um, CGI can be really good when it's done really well, and when it's used in conjunction with 2D stuff, or really anything, if we're being completely honest here. There's been plenty of shows and movies that actually have used CGI well or decently, but they don't really get, in my opinion, the appreciation that they deserve. But whatever, that's a topic for another day. Um, but yeah, that's all I got. What do you think? Um, in your opinion, is CGI good for the not even just the movie industry, but the industry as a whole, like the entertainment industry, the artist industry? Like, is it good or is it bad? Do you like CGI? Do you not like CGI? And to you, what are the best and the worst ways of using CGI? Um, um, Also, I will be making a community post later about this, so please watch out for that. And if you want all the important stuff, then please do not forget to check out the description. It's important. Alright? And if you want more of me and these videos, then you know exactly what to do. I won't hold your hand through the process. This has been the Real KMBC, signing out. And please, have a nice day.